All right. I think we're live now. Let me get all set up here and we'll get going. Looks like I got one person joined already. And give me a second here. Things are going slow on my end, so hopefully we'll get going. Well, while we're waiting on this, if you are new to the live broadcast, I do this pretty much every Thursday night, 7 o'clock Central Time. It's pretty much just an Ask Me Anything kind of session. So just leave a comment. I'll do my best to answer that for you guys. If I miss your comment, because sometimes it gets going pretty quick, ask again. I'll get on there. I want to apologize because the last couple of weeks, oh my goodness, it's been busy. I managed to get a live broadcast out a couple weeks ago, but it was Friday night when I was in the Dominican Republic for work. Last week, just couldn't make it, couldn't get it done. It's just been a crazy couple of weeks traveling for work, and now, my wife had surgery Monday night, so she's recovering well. She's home. She's recovering pretty well. Just gets worn out pretty easy, and so it's been kind of busy the last couple days. So I haven't been on Facebook much, answering comments on there, and I haven't been on YouTube getting the comments answered on YouTube either. So hang on a second here, guys. I'm having a hard time getting things to work here. See if we can get that going. All right, I see a couple people. Glad I'm back too. Thank you very much. Sorry for the slowness here. I'm trying to get YouTube to respond to me. Hello, Aviario. I can't ever pronounce your name. And everything. Hello to you. RPG. Hello to you. All right, give me a second here, guys. Sorry, I'm distracted here. I keep saying that, but trying to get the chat set up here so I can see it a little bit better, and it's just not responding to me real well. Margaret, good evening to you. Thanks for joining. Glad to have you here. And come on, computer. I'm not sure what's going on with my internet connection here tonight. Are you guys seeing the video okay? Nothing's too choppy or anything like that? Hello to Ola Hollow Boss. That's hard to say. Good. Future Army Medic. Hello to you, and DDW and Nick Walker. Everything's good. Good. Thank you. Mark Wilson says, I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Well, Joplin, Missouri here. You guys can probably see it, but I'm wearing a Joplin, Missouri shirt today. Convinced your parents, some of the videos convinced your parents to let you get quail. Oh, it disappeared on me already. I cannot, for some reason, get to the, let me try closing this down and opening it back up. Sorry, guys, I'm getting started a little slow. Eric, hello there. How's it going? I have 14 quail eggs and hatch in 3 days. That's as far as I got, and it disappeared on me. That's why I'm trying to get set up on the computer here so I can see the chat a little bit better. So sorry for the delay. Usually it works right away. All right, let's see what we got going on here. I think I'm getting close now. Got your first big bunch of quail eggs on lockdown. Well, good. Hope those go well. All right, I think we're getting going now. If the chat will just pop up here, I'll be good to go. Come on, chat. All right. For some reason, the chat will not show up. All right, from Canada, huh? Who is that? Mr. Skunky Dan, huh? And everything says, I live in Florida. I'm still deciding on where to order my quail eggs. Do you have any suggestions? Kansas City Quail Farms is great. I always suggest them. Have great bloodlines. So that's a good place to order from. Tell them that I sent you there. I don't know if you're getting any kind of special discount, probably not, but still, tell them I sent you there anyway. Let them know we're referring you. Also, we do have a viewer that's in here quite frequently. Oh my gosh, I just suddenly forgot the name. Holy cow, I forgot it. I'll come back to it here in a minute, hopefully. All right, sorry guys, I'm a little slow to respond to the chat. I cannot get my, I can't get the chat to come up on the computer for some reason. And it disappears so fast on the screen. I'm filming this on my iPhone, and I mean, it pops up on there, but it disappears so fast, I can't hardly get it read before it's gone. And usually I just pull it up on the computer, but for some reason I cannot get it to pop up. So sorry for the delay in getting going here. I do want to say to all you guys that did pray for my wife, thank you very much. Surgery went well. She's recovering very, very nicely, probably a little better than we expected her to. She just, like I said, she's in a little bit of pain and just kind of gets worn out pretty quick. But other than that, she's doing pretty good. So thank you for the prayers. It really did help. I appreciate it very much. Let's try something else. Hello to you, Catherine. All right, who's this? Chloe says, hey, Chris, been out and checked on my doe rabbit. She's pregnant and started pulling fur out. When should I expect babies? Your videos are amazing. I lost the rest of that chat. Okay, generally, it depends on how far along she is. Some does will pull fur a little bit early, but generally speaking, they pull fur like when the babies are coming. I mean, like right now. Most of the time it's right after the babies are born, they tend to just pull the fur. So, I mean, you should be expecting them any time now. That's a pretty good sign that the babies are coming. I am having all kinds of computer problems tonight. I don't know why. Let's see if I can do it this way. All right. Hey, there we go. Now I've got something. Let me get this popped out here. And now we're good to go. I think we're working now. I guess it was just an Internet Explorer issue. All right. Now we got some comments going. Now I'm good to go. All right. So let's see where we start here. DDW says rabbits and expensive heat. I'm not sure where that's probably a response to something a little bit earlier. Sorry I missed that. Mr. Skunky Dan says Iberton, Ontario, Canada. So very nice. I've never been to Canada. One of the places I'd like to visit someday. So who knows? Maybe I'll look you up whenever I get there. Everything lives in Florida. Deciding where to. Okay, we got that one answered. The Future Army Medic says 3 days into incubation, process 8 Coturnix quail eggs. 3 days into the incubation process, 8 Coturnix quail eggs. I'm thankful for your help. You've helped me prepare so much. So thank you. Well, thank you very much, Future Army Medic. I'm so glad that you find my videos helpful and that they're helping you prepare. Good luck on your upcoming hatch. You're 3 days in. You got a long waiting period, but that's part of the excitement too. So hang in there and good luck. Hope it goes well. All right, Aviario says, I started the lockdown since Sunday, day 14, and no quails yet. Is that normal? Let's see, Sunday, this is what, Thursday? I'm on vacation this week taking care of my wife, so I'm losing track of days. No, that's actually a little bit of a long period. So that'd be 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, you're on like day 18, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, I had to do math on my fingers. You're on like day 18, so it's a little bit on the long side, but don't panic. Give them till about day 23, roughly, before you give up on it. It's really probably an indicator that your temperature may be just a little bit on the low side. There's not much you can do about it right now. See how this hatch goes. And then, test your incubator out. Get a couple of non-digital. Make sure do I have an incubator here? Or a thermometer? Here we go. A non-digital thermometer, like that. Calibrate it. I can't explain how to do that right here, but look up a video just how to calibrate a thermometer. It'll show you. It's a pretty simple process. Get 2 of them. Calibrate them both. That way you know that it's not an error with one of the thermometers. Stick them in your incubator. And then, you can verify that your incubator is reading the correct temperature. I always recommend doing that. So it's pretty easy to calibrate. You just turn this little, make sure it's got a nut on the back side of it. You just turn that to adjust the temperature. Stick it in boiling water and stick it in ice water and do some math. It's not terribly difficult, but I can't. It's too much to explain on a video. I'd have to show you more than explain it. All right, hopefully that helps with that. All right, John Davis says, hello from the far north, the great state of Maine. I've never been to Maine either, so hello and thanks for joining. All right, where are we at here? Alexi says, thanks for all the instructional videos. I'm on my 2nd generation of quails. It's 110 today in Los Angeles. Hopefully they can make it. I'm sure they'll be fine, Alexi. It's incredibly hot here too. It's not 110. I think it's like 95, 96, something like that, but the heat index is well over 100. I was out working on trying to get the quail hutch finished up off and on while my wife was sleeping today. And good grief, I couldn't hardly work for very long before I'd have to come in, take a break, clean myself up because all the sweat is just hot and humid out here in Southwest Missouri. Chicky Poppins, that's the other one I was thinking of. Thank you very much, Kelly. I just drew a blank on the name. Chicky Poppins, I don't know if he's in here tonight. I don't see him, but he is another one that does sell quail that whoever was looking for quail eggs, I can't remember now. That may be a good place to order from. All right, Chloe Haywood says, hey, Chris, been out and checked on my doe rabbit. She's pregnant. Started pulling for, okay, I think we got that one answered. Excuse me. Where are we at here? Chloe says, I'm going looking. Thank you. Okay, no problem. Well, let us know if you have baby rabbits. That'd be exciting. Kinfolk Farm of Georgia says, what's up? Look forward to this every week. Well, thank you so much. I look forward to it too. I'd love to get in here and spend some time with you guys. Thank you guys for driving the chat to give me something to talk about. I keep talking about trying to come up with a topic for this when the chat's slow, but yet I don't. It always comes up like Thursday evening. I'm like, oh no, I don't have a topic. Oh well, jump in live broadcast anyway. So thank you guys for being interactive with me during the live broadcast. I appreciate that. All right, Nick Walker says, got a SF doe supposed to kindle on Saturday. Your videos are great to watch and I learn a lot. Well, hey, good luck with your upcoming Kindle. Hopefully everything works out well. My silver fox actually died a while back, so she was a great rabbit, good mother, threw some great babies, so hopefully you have the same success with that. Everything says, any other Floridians out there? I'm sure there's a few of them. All right, let's see, future Army medic. I've actually been to Florida. I was there just a couple of days ago, but just in the airport and just for like 30 minutes, Future Army Medic says, my Bob White quail eggs didn't hatch, so I'm trying Coturnix this time. Well, good luck. Hopefully that everything works out well for you. I've got a whole series on hatching and incubating eggs, so you can go back and watch that if you need some tips on that. Again, check your incubator and make sure that it's reading correctly before you start. That's usually the biggest problem when you have no eggs hatch. Of course, Bob White's, who knows exactly, they may not have been fertile. Any number of things can happen, but that's one thing I always recommend to do. Margaret is in Florida as well. Look at that, you guys are neighbors. All right, Samantha McDonald says, hi, I have a doe who is on day 36 of her pregnancy and she still has yet to have her babies. Should I be worried? Nothing to worry about yet. Day 33, you said. Yeah, day 33, okay. Yeah, day 35, 36, I mean, that's not that terribly uncommon. Most of my rabbits are like clockwork, day 30, almost every time. But it's not that uncommon for one to go 33 days, 34 days, or 35 days. I'd give it personally to about day 40 before I'd give up and try to rebreed her. That's just my opinion. Gustavo Lopez says, can you help me with the question I asked you, please? I'm sorry, Gustavo, I think I've lost that comment. If you can ask it again, I will do my best to get to it. Kinfolk Farm of Georgia, love learning about quail. Well, I think you're in the right place. Hopefully, you learn a few things with my videos. MJ Homestead says, my Rex just had 13 babies. Wow, that's a big litter of rabbits. Second litter, first litter had 8 and all died. Oh, that's not good. Is 13 normal and can a rabbit take care of that many? Please hope your wife is okay. Oh, P.S. Hope your wife is okay. She's doing well. Thank you so much, MJ. 13 is a lot of babies. It's going to be very difficult for that mom to take care of all of them. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't lose like 3 or 4 of them. Just because usually 10 is about the most that most rabbits can really handle. I'm not saying she won't, but I wouldn't be surprised if you lose a couple of those babies. Hopefully you don't, but don't treat her as a bad mom if you do. I think they've only got like 10 nipples anyway, or 8, something like that. Anyway, it's going to be hard for her to feed 13 babies. If you have another rabbit that's pregnant, or that's nursing, I should say, you might try to foster a few of them over to her if you can. I personally don't generally do that. I usually only have one rabbit at a time that's having babies. If I have a big litter and I lose a couple of them, I just chalk it up to the strongest survive and move on. That's really all you can do in a lot of times. I mean, you can try to hand feed them, but that's a lot of work and it's not usually that successful. All right, Eric says, I have my quail eggs in lockdown and I was told I should increase the temperature a little and I was wondering if I can get your opinion. No, don't increase the temperature. 99.5 degrees for a forced air incubator all the way through. Temperature stays the same, it does not increase. You increase humidity a little bit at lockdown, but you don't want to increase the temperature. The temperature needs to stay the same. Hopefully that helps you. All right, Catherine says, Catherine Knutson, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Finally have a buck to go with my 2 does. Got to wait till October before I can start breeding them for meat. I'm finding it's hilarious that my cats, 4 of them, play with the rabbits and they have fun. Well, that's interesting. Your cats play with the rabbits. I mean, more interesting that the rabbits will play with the cats, I think, than the cats playing with the rabbits. But hey, you know, and look at that. Somebody gave me a $5, Aviario, a $5 super chat. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. But yeah, I know what you're saying, Catherine, about waiting until October. Yeah, I got to wait too. It's just too hot out here. I'm not going to put the rabbits through that. So yeah, I wait until probably, I could probably get away with it in late September. But yeah, basically October. All right. Oh wait, Russell Schubert says calibrate with a bowl of ice and water and adjust to, ice and water adjust to 32 degrees. Well, that's part of the process, Russell, to get a really good calibration. You need to know what it's reading at freezing, what it's reading at as boiling, and then you do a little bit of math to kind of split the difference and you calibrate it according to that. Hopefully that makes sense. But again, look up a video on it. It's pretty easy. It's just easier to see it than it is for me to explain it. All right. Everything Swiss. What's the bare minimum I need for quail if I want to keep them inside just for their eggs? The bare minimum number, I'm guessing you're asking, or the bare minimum equipment? I'm not sure what you mean by that, everything, but if you're looking at the bare minimum number, it depends on how many eggs you want to eat. You got to figure that, you know, it takes about 4 quail eggs to make a chicken egg, so however many eggs you want to eat every day, that's about however many females you need. So hopefully that kind of answers that. You don't need a rooster if you just want eggs to eat. All you need is a, okay, now I see you're saying equipment. Okay, well, a cage, a feeder, and a waterer. That's really all you need. I did some videos a while back on stacking quail cages. You might look back through my videos and see what you can find. It was a pretty simple setup with a PVC frame, pretty simple cages built out of wire, and in a dropping pan underneath. It was pretty convenient. I would say if you're going to keep them inside your house, you might want to build something that has like solid walls around it, because they throw dust and feathers and stuff like that everywhere. So you know, that's really pretty much it though. You just need a cage, some way to give them water, some way to give them feed. That's it. And light. If you want eggs, you got to have 14 hours a day of light. So, all right. ACL 84. Love your videos. I'm having a terrible time getting my rabbits to mate. I have had 2 successful litters, but getting any more is a real challenge. The does are not lifting. You know, that is a problem sometimes. We talk about that quite frequently on this channel. Let me just say that, okay, what was I? Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chat here. It's starting to move pretty quick, so if I'm missing your comments, guys, I apologize again. Ask again. I'll get it answered. But to talk about how when your does don't lift, there's a couple of things you can do. What I usually find is the most successful is just you bring your doe to the male. Always bring your doe to the male, never the male to the doe. Bring your doe to the buck. Put her in there, give her 15 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. If she's refusing to lift, take her out, put her back in her cage. Try again the next morning, or you know, late that evening or whatever. You know, if she refuses to lift again, take her out, put her back in the next morning. Usually after about 5 or 6 times of that, she's in the mood and she's ready to breed. I have heard people talk about taking their rabbits, their does, putting them in a pet carrier, put them in the car, and drive them around the block a couple times, and then bring them back and put them in. I have no idea why that would work, but people report that it does work. And there's enough people saying that it's worked for them that I got to give it some merit. I don't know. I've never had to resort to that. Usually it's just repeated, bringing the male or the female to the male repeatedly, back to back, you know, morning, evening, morning, evening, morning, evening. And usually that works. That's my best suggestion. You can go to forced breeding if you need to, but I would recommend trying to stay away from that if you can. All right. All right, Rebecca, I see your comment. She was moved inside on a hot day. Could it have been the move? I'm not sure what you're referring to. I missed the previous comment on that, so I don't know how to answer. I'm sorry. Kinfolk says, we have pigs, chickens, turkeys, and bees wanting quail next. I've actually thought about adding bees. I haven't done that yet, but I may at some point in the future. So, I don't know. If you guys watch the channel very frequently, if I add bees, you will see the videos on it for sure. All right, Kinsey says, hey, Chris, my quail's hatched. I got 14 out of 23, another Floridian. That's a pretty good hatch rate, Kinsey. Congratulations on your hatch. I mean, you may not think 14 out of 23 is great, but it's actually a pretty decent hatch rate, so good job. Congratulations. Kayla says, hi from Southern Indiana. Hello to you. Joe Shelburne says, too darn in Oklahoma to have new baby rabbits. They might melt. Oh, too darn hot in Oklahoma. Man, I know what you're talking about, Joe. I'm right on the edge of Oklahoma. You know, Southwest Missouri. It's a 10-minute drive to Oklahoma from here. I don't know what part of Oklahoma you're in, but it is hot here too. So, Walter, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. I appreciate that. All right, where are we going? MJ Homestead. I goofed and bred all my does. I now have 22 babies and 3 toddlers. My third doe is due any day. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of work. Luckily, the rabbits will pretty much take care of themselves, but still, 22 baby rabbits, that's a whole lot of feed you're going through. Good luck. Hopefully they all make it. Excuse me while I take a drink. All right, Kelly Dragstrom, hopefully I got that right, says, Chris, if people like the broadcast and videos, please remind them that Facebook page is out there. I joined a few weeks ago, and there's a good community there. Lots of different advice there, too. Yep. Yes, good point, Kelly. Yeah, if you guys are looking for another way to connect with us, we have a pretty good Facebook group. It's just a Slightly Rednecked Facebook group. I have a Slightly Rednecked page, and honestly, I'm not the best with Facebook. I don't find the time to get on there very often, so I don't post much to my page, but there is a Facebook group, Slightly Rednecked. And usually, what's great about that is, if you have a quail question, a rabbit question, something along that lines, and you post it in there. Like I said, I'm not always the best. I'm not always in there all the time, but somebody will jump in and give you advice. Super friendly. Everybody's in there to help each other out. I will talk about, I don't know how many of you guys are in the Facebook group. We had a post the other day. Somebody posted a picture of it was a video of their kids. Just a personal thing that they posted. I have no problems with that. Somebody did comment on there that they were polite. They said, I'm sorry, but this has nothing to do with quail or rabbits, what I joined for. Here's what I would say to that. I don't have any problem with people posting some of those personal things to that. Don't spam us. Don't go overboard with it. Their point is probably valid. Most people are probably joining to find out more about raising rabbits, more about raising quail, some gardening, some of those kinds of things. And we don't want to make it like so many other groups I have where they're just nothing but personal posts and memes. Don't get political. Don't get any of that stuff in there. If you want to post a picture of your family or your kids or something like that, then it's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But again, don't spam us. Don't go crazy with it because it can get annoying pretty quickly, and we don't want to drive people out of the group. But my rules are pretty simple in the group. Don't be a jerk, and you can stick around. I'm not, so far we have not had any problems whatsoever. Everybody has been nothing but friendly, nothing but polite. Disagreements are fine. I don't have any problem with you disagreeing with somebody. I like to debate myself. I have a great time with debating, but just do it in a respectful way. Don't be a jerk, and you're gonna be fine. So I don't know, kind of got off track there, but anyway, hopefully that all makes sense. All right, Future Army Medic says, I want to keep hatching and raising quail as my hobby. The incubator I have right now sucks. Okay. What do you recommend for an incubator? I'm not sure what you're using right now, Future Army Medic. I use a Little Giant incubator. Sorry guys, I got a scratch. I got out in the grass today. The chiggers got me pretty good, I think. Anyway, my Little Giant incubator works pretty well. Those little styrofoam incubators like that, though, they're notorious for like the thermostats being off a little bit. That's why I always recommend calibrated thermometers. Make sure that it's reading correctly. You can adjust it if you need to. I hear really, really good things about the Hovabators, though. And if I was going to buy a new one, I would probably buy a Hovabator. I hear fantastic things. They get great reviews from everybody that's using them. One thing I will say about Little Giant, I've told this story before, is my thermostat on my incubator went out completely. I called the company, Miller Manufacturing, that makes it, told them the problem, and they didn't ask me like when I bought it, nothing. They just sent me a brand new thermostat to put in it. So they stand behind their product, and I got to say that's something. So anyway, there's 2 suggestions there. Those are the 2 I would probably look at. All right, where are we at here? Kelly says, I've been enjoying the community and the info there as well as the videos. Well, thank you so much, Kelly. Appreciate that. Syed, she's talking about the Facebook group again. Kelly Dragstrom says, I have been enjoying, oh, nope, I just read the same comment all over again. Syed Abdur Rahim, hopefully I got your name right. I know I probably mispronounced it. I'm sorry. Says, I put my quail and a pair of pigeons together, and they're doing fine. In fact, my pigeons have laid 2 eggs and are nesting. Can't wait till they hatch. Well, that's pretty interesting. I've never considered raising quail and pigeons together. Of course, I don't raise pigeons, but pigeons are considerably bigger than quail, so it's nice to know that they get along pretty well, that they're doing well, and your pigeons actually went broody, so they're pretty comfortable apparently. So nice. Thanks for sharing that. Hello, Walter. I saw your super chat. I already said hi to you that way, but hello again. I'm just getting to your hello comment. I Everything says, okay, thank you. Aviario says, do you know any company that can ship day-old quails? I don't. I mean, there's people out there that do ship quail. I would suggest not shipping quail. If you're going to ship something, I would say go with eggs. Quail typically don't ship real well. They're pretty fragile little birds. Somebody once put it this way: is, they're a prey species in the wild, so their survival drive is not the strongest. That kind of makes sense, I think. Really, what happens when you ship quail is a lot of times it can kind of stunt their growth. You can have high mortality rates, especially if you're shipping them like in the summertime or in the dead of winter when it's freezing cold out. So I would suggest not doing that. Look for day olds in your area if you want to buy chicks. If you absolutely have to order in eggs. And you might practice with, if you can find like chicken eggs to hatch or something, practice hatching out a few hatches with chicken eggs. It's basically the same thing, pretty much the same process, just a longer period for chicken eggs. And get your practice down so you have some confidence to order the eggs. Hopefully that helps with that. I really can't recommend anybody as far as shipping quail though. All right, Douglas says, My Shire Quail Farm. Okay, My Shire Quail Farm apparently does ship live birds. Again, I would say I wouldn't do it. But you can do it if you want to, and if you have great luck with it, come back and let us know. All right, Rebecca says, quail banged herself into the coop until she died after being moved inside on a hot day. Oh, really? Okay. So that was what you were talking about earlier. So you moved her inside on a hot day and she just banged. Well, my guess would be it would be the move. Probably not the temperature, probably not the fact that it's inside, just the move. And there was a stress factor on her. She was incredibly stressed out in that fight or flight kind of mode and trying to get away from it. And that's probably what happened. I'm sorry that happened. But yeah, I would say moving the bird. They get stressed out pretty easily. They don't like to be moved around a lot. They pretty much like to be just left in their pen and left alone. So that would be my guess. Nick Walker says, there's also a backyard meat rabbits group is great as well. Yeah, backyard meat rabbits is great. There's a backyard quail. There's a bunch of different Facebook groups. I've been a member of Backyard Meat Rabbits for quite a while. It is a great group, I agree. Kinfolk Farm of Georgia says, after quail hatch, chick starter, or do they sell quail starter? Yeah, game bird starter is what you're looking for. Kinfolk Farm, okay. Yeah, game bird starter is what you're looking for. I feed all my birds game bird starter from the time they come out of the egg and for their whole lives. That's what they eat, game bird starter. You want a fairly high protein, like over a 20%, so 24 or higher is what I prefer. Make sure it's got about, maybe 2% calcium is a good, 1.5 to 3% calcium, and that's probably going to work perfect for all of your birds. If you can't find game bird starter, you might look for turkey starter. It's very, very similar, in most cases, almost the same thing, and it's going to work out just fine for you. All right, Future Army Medic says, thanks for the advice on the incubators. No problem. Let us know if you get a Hovabator, how it works for you. Everybody I've talked to that's got one just loves them and says they're great. So that's all I know about them. All right, excuse me. All right, 253 Gar. That's a strange username, hard for me to say, but hello to you. Thanks for joining. Glad you could make it. All right, and we've got somebody, and Rebecca, a $2 super chat. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. My guess would be it was the move as well. Yep, Walter Camp's answering your question about game bird starter. Nick Walker says, if you ever want new bloodlines for your silver fox rabbits, we might be able to work out a trade. Well, Nick, what area of the country are you in? Because I might need some. I'm actually down to, I need to replace my does. I've got one doe left. She's a Flemish Giant, New Zealand cross, great rabbit, good personality, a pretty good mother, but she throws such little litters. I mean, they're only like 2-3 babies at a time. They take forever to grow out, so I need to replace her. And my New Zealand red, she's in the freezer because she just was the meanest rabbit I've ever seen. Like, if you've ever seen Monty Python, the rabbit on there, that was this rabbit. She was ferocious. So she's in the freezer. She's going to be made into sausage. So yes, I'm down rabbits. I need a few. Where are we at? Syed says, I love your video. I've been watching your streams live for the past month and a half straight. Thank you so much. By the way, you said my name right. Good, I got it right. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. I was sure I got it wrong. Oh, you live outside of Tulsa. Well, you're pretty close by, Nick. That's not far at all. And you were at Quapaw Downstream yesterday, huh? Well, heck, if I'd have known that, we could have met up there. That's a half hour from my house, so not far at all. Tulsa is about almost 2 hour drive from here. Not quite, so but it's not terribly far. Yeah, I'd love to talk to you about some silver fox rabbits. I could use a couple of does, or at least one. Excuse me. All right, it's interesting how we have, I mean, Pepsi's making you thirsty. I'm a soda pop junkie. I always say most people my age, I'm 44 years old. Most people my age have a beer belly. I have a soda pop belly. I drink soda pop. I'm a soda pop junkie. It's horrible. It's my true addiction. Anyway, what I was going to say is it's interesting. We have such a, I always say small world. We've got people all over the world coming into these live broadcasts, and there's 38 people in here right now, and we're representing Canada and Florida and Oklahoma, and I mean all over the country, but not just the country, all over the world. If you guys join in the Facebook group, we've got people in there from Canada, we've got people in there from Ireland, some people in there from England. I mean, just all over the place, and I'm so humbled to think everybody wants to come in here and join in. We've got a pretty good community going here, and again, I'm just so glad that everybody again is so respectful, so friendly with each other, willing to help each other out. It really humbles me that you guys will step up and do that. So I appreciate that. All right, hey, what is that? Alex King. Hi to you. Future Army Medic says, I'm a chocolate milk junkie. Oh man, I can destroy some chocolate milk, that's for sure. My problem with chocolate milk is I can sit here and sip a Pepsi, just a couple of drinks here and there, whatever. But with chocolate milk, I can't do that. It's just, if I have a big old glass of chocolate milk, I take a sip of it. It's so good, I just keep going and I just down the glass. And then pretty soon I'm like, oh, my belly hurts. I drank too much milk. But yeah, I love some chocolate milk. Hello to you, Robin. Glad to see you. MT says, it's a call center thing. You don't want to see my pile of cans on my desk at the end of the week in the process of switching to kombucha, huh? Kombucha. I've heard of that. I've not tried it. Maybe it is a call center thing. I don't know. If you guys don't know, I work for a call center. So maybe that's where my soda pop addiction comes from. Actually, my soda pop addiction comes from when I was in junior high school. I had my tonsils taken out day after Christmas in 8th grade. Horrible Christmas vacation. I got all this stuff for Christmas and I couldn't play with any of it. But anyway, the doctor told me to drink soda because it bubbles in your throat, acts kind of like peroxide, keeps it from clotting and stuff like that. So I started drinking soda because I couldn't swallow anything hardly. It was pretty rough. And I think that's where my soda pop addiction started and comes from. That's been a long time, I know, but still. All right, Nick Walker says, litter due Saturday, then 4 weeks after that, I'll breed her again, plus her daughter. Oh, so you've got, let's see, a litter due on Saturday. Okay, 4 weeks after that, you're going to breed that doe again. So yeah, you're doing pretty intensive breeding, and you're going to breed her daughter as well. Well, hey, you've got some rabbits on the way, so good luck with those litters. Hope they work out well. Lance Jones says, I'm planning on building a stacked cage setup, 3 breeder cages on top and 4 grow out cages below, with 3 breeder groups, 4 to 1, produce enough birds for a family of 6 for a few meals a month. Let's see, 4 grow out cages below. Okay, with 3 breeder groups, so 3 breeder groups of 4 females each. So you're looking at 4, 8, 12, 16 eggs a day roughly. If you're incubating them on a pretty regular basis, then yeah, that's going to produce a lot of birds. Because you could put, if you get 16 eggs a day, let's just do the math really easy. Let's say 15 eggs a day. So 15, 2 days you're going to have 30 eggs, 4 days you're going to have 60 eggs, 6 days you're going to have, I've lost track, 90 eggs, almost 100 eggs in 6 days, and you can incubate about 100, about 90 at a time. And that's quite a few birds. That's quite a few hatching out. If you've got the room to do all that, then yeah, it's going to be enough for you to have a couple of meals out of them a couple of times a month for sure. All right. Oh, excuse me. All right. Syed says it's 1:30 a.m. here in the UK. Yeah, soda pop belly, that's me. 1:30 a.m. You stayed up and joined the live broadcast at 1:30. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for doing that. The Future Army Medic says, we are all inspired by your kindness. You are an awesome guy. Well, thank you so much. I don't know if I'm all that awesome or not, but I do try to be friendly. I do try to be nice to people. We're all different people. You know, you guys may know I am a Christian. I'm very strong in my faith. But I've said this before. I'm not judging you if you're not a Christian. We've had people, Muslims in here. We have Catholics. We have, and Catholic and Christian is pretty close, but it's not exactly the same thing. We have people of all different kinds of religions, people, atheists. That's okay. I'm not judging you for not being a Christian. We can have our differences. We can disagree on things. We can still be friends. I'm okay with that. So I do try to live by that. I don't always do the best job of it. I have my moments. I can be a jerk at times too, but I really try hard not to be. All right, Ode or Odai, I can't remember. Odai, I'm gonna call you Odai. Hello, missed you too. Thanks for joining. Sorry I've been gone for the last couple of weeks. It's been pretty hectic. Future Army Medic says, I'm the same way with chocolate milk. Yeah, drink it. I just can't quit. I mean, I just guzzle it down. It's crazy, but all right. Liram says, nice work, man. Chinese incubators, do they work? I had a hatch rate of 24 out of 112 quail eggs. You know, honestly, I don't know. My little giant was probably manufactured in China too. I don't really know. I do know there's a lot of different incubators out there, the really small ones, all kinds of different ones. I would stick with more of the name brands, Little Giant, Hovabator. I say Little Giant because I have experience with Little Giant. It's worked pretty well for me. I imagine Farm Innovations they look pretty much the same. It's probably the same thing. And Hovabators, because I hear such great reviews from everybody that owns one. I would stick with those. Sometimes, you know, you get what you pay for, and the cheaper stuff just isn't that great. That's just my opinion. Wesley Kearns, there we go. Thanks for all the help you gave me. I separated my chickens and quail, and I got my first egg today. Nice, congratulations. I don't remember specifically I guess we were talking about, you had your chickens and quail together, weren't getting eggs. I vaguely remember some conversations, but I don't remember if that was you that brought them up. So I apologize that I don't remember that, but I'm glad to hear that, I gave you some advice that worked out. Glad to hear it worked out, and congratulations on your eggs. Nick says, litter sizes were smaller and wondering if it was due to fat does, so I'm going to try more frequent breeding to increase the litter size. Well, that could be, Nick, if you're in Oklahoma, it's hot as can be right now. It's, excuse me, I'm getting a little hoarse here. It could be just the heat. When the temperature's over about 85 degrees, it's not uncommon for bucks to go sterile, at least temporarily. So it could be that he's just not performing as well as he should be performing. So that may be the biggest issue. I mean, it's hard to say for sure. I'm not sure if more frequent breeding will help with that, but if it does, come back and let us know. It'd be interesting. All right, Future Army Medic says, I'm planning on modifying my big old rabbit cage, lining it with hardware cloth. Will it be safe for the quail if it's on the ground and I move the quail in the barn at night? Yeah, it'd be safe. If you put hardware cloth on the bottom of a rabbit cage, it's fine for the quail to walk on, no problem. I would say you might want to rethink your plan about moving them out and moving them in, moving them out, moving them in. If you want eggs out of them anyway, that can get pretty stressful for the birds. Generally, they don't like being moved around much. So if they get moved into the barn at night, out during the day, they may not be producing eggs for you, or at least not very many. That's just my opinion on it. But yeah, as far as safe, it's perfectly safe, no problem. I use 1/4 inch hardware cloth on my quail hutches. It's no problem. The quail do just fine on it. Eric says, I'm sad that I have to go to work and I'm going to miss the rest of the video. Well, hey, I'm sad that you do too, Eric, but thanks for joining the part that you could join. We appreciate it. And have a good night at work. I'm assuming it's nighttime where you're at, or going into nighttime. And you can always come back and watch the rest. We only got about 20 minutes left anyway. I would go a little bit longer because I've been gone, but my wife's recovering. I need to go out and spend some time with her, make sure she's doing fine, and get her, provide for her whatever she needs. So, All right, 253 Gar says, I use a Chinese incubator, average around 75% hatch. Well, nice. So there's some good reviews on a Chinese incubator. Future Army Medic says, I'm planning mine. Okay, we already answered that. Robin Real Truth says, I have a chicken question. All my hens look great. They free range and get feed every day and clean water, but for 2 weeks, no eggs. Could you give me a hint on why? Thanks, love your channel. Okay, I'm not a chicken expert, but I do know there are some things that can throw chickens off. Generally speaking, it's light. The amount of hours a day of light that they have, 14 hours a day is what they need. But if they're free ranging and it's summertime right now, it's probably not light. It could be a number of different things. I wouldn't think chickens aren't that picky about moving around, so that's probably not it. It could be they're just taking a break. They may be molting right now. A lot of times they'll stop producing eggs when they're molting. Those are the kind of top things I can think of right off the top of my head. Hopefully that works. Hopefully that helps. All right. Well, there you go. MT's got a good suggestion, Robin. He says, she, I'm not sure, says it means they may be hiding them. That could be the case. They may be laying their eggs out there in the free range somewhere and not laying in their nest boxes. That could be the case. Or, who knows? Maybe you have a snake eating your chicken eggs or something. Who knows? You kept them pinned up for 4 days and no eggs. Well, Robin, it could be if they're new. Let's see. I have chickens. Question. Free range, get feed every day and clean water, but for 2 weeks, no eggs. Okay, so have you only had the chickens for 2 weeks? It does. I mean, they're just like quail in the sense is that you move them to a new location. It takes them a little bit to get settled in and start producing eggs. So that may be it. That's just my guess. Nick Walker says, hardcore atheist here. Everyone can be horrible. You are a very nice guy, and everyone knows kindness is contagious. LOL. It's always refreshing to see someone genuinely nice, so thank you for that. Well, thank you very much, Nick. I appreciate that. Here's the way I look at this. You said hardcore atheist here. Again, I'm not going to judge you for that at all. It's not my place to judge you for that. And this is me speaking from my place of belief. One of the doctrines of Christianity that I struggle with a lot, and I don't know the answer, is whether it is predestination or free will. I kind of bounce back and forth as to which one I believe. But either way, my salvation is a gift from God to me. It's not something I've earned. So as Paul says, I have no room to boast on that. So if you're not a Christian, I can't boast that I am over you. I can't. It's not my place to do that. I was once in that position as well. I am saved now, but I was once, I wasn't an atheist, but still I was once in that position. I wasn't a Christian, so I'm no better off. I'm no better than anybody else out there. And that's kind of why I feel like, hopefully that makes sense. It doesn't come across arrogant or anything like that. I don't mean it that way. That's just that's just the way I look at things. All right. Alexi, there we go, says, I got 13 quails out of 15 using Brisnia Mini 2. Nice. That's a pretty good hatch rate out of that. Kevin says, finally getting a chance to tune into a live broadcast. Hatched 18 quails 5 weeks ago. Heard one of the roosters crowing yesterday for the first. Wait, let's see, 18 quail 5 weeks ago. Heard one of the roosters crow yesterday for the first. Hoping I get started a few eggs next week. You're probably going to get eggs pretty soon. I wouldn't count on maybe next week. Give them a couple of weeks, and even after they start to lay, it may take them a week or two before they start laying pretty regularly. But yeah, the eggs are coming pretty quick. The roosters tend to start crowing. 5 weeks is a little bit early, but it's not incredibly early. They do start to crow just a little bit before the hens start laying the eggs. But yeah, that first crow is kind of fun to hear. They just, all of a sudden, boy, you're going to get sick of it pretty quick, because when they first start to crow, boy, they go nuts. I mean, they're just all the time, all day, nonstop, crowing all the time. And they'll calm down after a little while, though. All right, where are we at here? Aviario says, Chris, when will you be breeding your does again? Well, I'm just kind of talking about that. I need to get new does. Hopefully, we can work out maybe some silver foxes from Nick. Was it you that's in Tulsa area? Seriously, hit me up on that. I would love to pick up a couple of does from you if you have them, or at least one. So I need to get some new rabbits, but yeah, my plan is usually around September, late September, October, when the weather starts to cool down a little bit. I don't like to breed in the heat of summer. It's too stressful for the rabbits. It's just too hot out there. All right. Where are we at here? Future Army Medic says, thank you for the advice. So if I left the modified rabbit cage outside and made sure the quail were sheltered from the weather, that would be okay. Yeah, it's fine. Quail do just fine outside. My hutches are all outdoors. I would raise it up off the ground a little bit because then you don't, I mean, unless you plan on just moving it around a lot, but you may have a hard time protecting it from predators. If you can just put it on a stand to stand it up, all the droppings fall through, much cleaner, and it's also a lot safer. The predators don't get to them quite as easily. So that's just how I would do it. But yeah, leaving them in one place is definitely much better. I suppose if you tractored them like a rabbit tractor, you know, just moved them around all the time and they got used to that, they might start laying again. But I don't know that for sure. That's just my guess. All right. Where are we at here? Finally getting a chance to do the library. Okay, I'm Chinese incubation. All right, so Vine Hall says, I have a Chinese incubator as it's all I could find, and it works fine. Out of 3 hatches, had totals of 75% rate. Good. That sounds like a pretty good incubator then. All right. Where are we at here? Nick Walker says, heat can prevent from laying eggs too. People swear by putting cayenne pepper in their water to kickstart their egg production again. Interesting. Never heard of putting cayenne pepper in their water. I'm not sure why that would work. You know, people talk about all kinds of things though. There's all kinds of old wives' tales putting apple cider vinegar in their water, and there's actually some evidence that apple cider vinegar may not be that. In fact, it may do a little bit of harm to your rabbit, or to your rabbits, your chickens, your quail, whatever. May not be the best thing. I mean, there's back and forth different evidence, but in the heat of summer, there's some evidence that apple cider vinegar may not be that good. And I know we're not talking about apple cider vinegar here, but my point is, you know, who knows? Chances are somebody put cayenne pepper in. I mean, why would you ever do that anyway? I mean, whoever figured that out, but still, they put cayenne pepper in the chicken's water and they started laying eggs. It may have no correlation whatsoever, but maybe it does. I don't know. All right, Robin Real True said, I was getting 2 dozen eggs for about a year, then they all of a sudden just stopped, and then they all just stopped. Okay, so how old are your birds? We're talking about your birds that haven't laid for the last couple of weeks. It could be that they're just getting old. I wouldn't think they'd all get old at the same time, you know, but it could be that you're just getting old, and maybe they're stopping laying due to age. I don't know. Maybe there's a predator coming around, stressing them out at night. I mean, there's a lot of different things that could happen. I'm kind of leaning towards maybe they're hiding them out in the free range somewhere, which reminds me of something. This is just off the top of my head, came out of nowhere, but I don't know if you guys have seen, there's a commercial out. One of the famous chicken producers, you know, that produces like chicken for the stores. Can't remember who it is right now, but they're out looking at these chickens walking in this field, and he's like, nice, Dad, free range chickens. Yeah, free range, organically fed, non-GMO, and all vegetarian diet. How in the world can you have a free range chicken on a vegetarian diet? I mean, you can't do it. Chickens are going to eat anything that comes along. There's no way you can have a free range chicken that's on a very vegetarian diet. Anyway, just something off the side note. All right, where are we at here? Karen, is that Karen? Keron. That's an interesting way to spell that. Says, hey Chris, will you be getting back? All right, we're still good. Sorry about that. Somebody called, had a phone call come in on the phone while I was doing this. Will you be getting back any rabbits? Oh, hopefully, yeah, I got to get some new does, but yes, I will be getting back rabbits. No worry, I'm not getting out of rabbits. I'm just not in a hurry to get them because it's too hot to breed them right now anyway. So I'm just keeping my eyes out. When I find a good doe, I'll buy one. Where are we at here? So Robin Real True says, Nick Walker, thanks, I'll try that. Do try it, let us know if it works. Hopefully it does. Armed American, there we go. We were just talking about you a few minutes ago. Somebody was looking for where to buy quail eggs from. The Future Army Medic says, thank you. I definitely raised the cage off the ground with the quail. Thank you. No problem. You're welcome. Kelly Dragstrom, I just posted my blueberry video on the Facebook page. It's fun to have other people that raise their own food to share this stuff with. So, oh, you did posted your blueberry video. I'm not sure what the blueberry video was. I haven't seen that yet. I'll have to go back and watch that. Are you growing blueberries and you're picking them or something? I don't know. But yes, it is nice to have other people out there that grow their own food. I like, I know, it's one of the things I really enjoy doing. I'm glad that there's other people that enjoy it too. Edward says only 4 lived out of 48. I'm not sure what we're talking about. I must have missed your other earlier comment. Sorry, Edward. Nick says my sister was skeptic and she tried it and swears by it. Who knows? Maybe it works. I don't know. Where are we at? Okay, I don't know. Can you guys still hear me okay? Looks like chat stopped for a second. I'm seeing things freeze up in the background. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. I'm going to keep talking and assume you can hear me. All right. Karen says, the only thing I know of apple cider is that when I get a new set of rabbits, they tend to scratch, and after a week of getting them, it tends to stop or reduce for some odd reason. You know, who knows? Maybe there's something to that, Karen. More than likely, it's just that the rabbits have kind of calmed down to their new surroundings, gotten more familiar with it, and that's why they calmed down. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's not because of apple cider vinegar. I just have my doubts that, I mean, apple cider vinegar, and maybe I'm just a little bit cynical because people just come out and, I mean, they talk about apple cider vinegar like it's magic. You know, it's like some kind of magical thing. All these amazing things that apple cider vinegar can do and just outlandish claims. So I get a little bit cynical about it, but you know, it's kind of like, you know, people, I mean, there was a deal about garlic, people eating garlic. I mean, there's always something that's the new, you know, trendy thing. I don't know. All right. Where are we at here? The only thing I know. Okay, got my first quail eggs yesterday and another today. Congratulations, Brutus. Glad to hear that. Kelly says, or do I have the wrong person? No, you're right. You're asking about your comment earlier. Armed American is Chicky Poppins. Yes, you're right. All right. Purdue, oh, Wendy, you're talking about the Purdue commercial. That's the one. You're right. They claim that their chickens are free range and vegetarian. There's no way you can have free range chickens that are vegetarian. They're fed a completely vegetable diet. I'm not sure why you'd want to feed a chicken a vegetarian diet, but they're not meant to eat vegetarian. I don't know. Just seems weird to me. I don't know why. All right. Kinfolk says, we started our birds with apple cider and then stopped. We see no difference. Yeah, I've seen no difference with apple cider vinegar either. Who knows? Future Army Medic says, some people I've talked to about my quail cage plans are concerned because they think the quail shouldn't walk on it because it's bad for their feet. It's the hardware cloth okay for them to walk? Yeah, hardware cloth is fine for them. All my birds are pretty much on hardware cloth. Now, I would give them like a sandbox or something that they can get in and get off the wire if they want to, but I don't have any problems with feet, really. It's not a big issue. It's more of an issue if you keep them on a solid bottom cage and don't clean it out like every day, because then the droppings will collect up very, very fast and it'll start caking on their feet and cause more problems that way than walking on hardware cloth would. And I know those people are well-intentioned, they mean well, but they just, I don't know how to say it, they just don't know really. I can see why they would think that, but they just don't know. So yes, it's fine, hardware cloth is fine. All right, Kelly says, it's okay, Robin. Real truth, I'm an ugly old man, but because my name is Kelly, people assume that I'm a girl. What did we get? I missed that. So, I've known several guys named Kelly. I don't know. But yeah, you're probably right. Kelly, I would assume, would be a girl's name. Not every time. I mean, it's not weird for me to meet a guy named Kelly. It's just more often a girl's name. So, without the... on you know, YouTube and comment sections with you don't get a picture or anything, so I don't know what you look like. So yeah, I would probably assume you were female as well by the name. That's just my guess. But it's nice to know that you're an ugly old man. There's more than one of us out there. Kinfolk Farm says, LO chickens are like dinos. They love meat. Yeah, chickens are definitely meat eaters. Bugs and mice, I mean anything. They go after that stuff. So yeah, there's no way you're going to get them a vegetarian diet. And if you did, they're going to be miserable. But Walter Camp says, Episcopalian here. You know, interesting, I talked about not judging anybody except Episcopalian. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't really know exactly, let's see, I know Episcopalian, but I don't know the doctrine. I don't know any of that stuff. So I can't speak to that. I technically am a Presbyterian. I'm an elder for a Presbyterian church. I don't hold on real tight to the doctrine or to the the denomination. I don't know. That just happens to be the church that I'm an elder with. I do agree with their doctrine, but I don't know that the denomination is not that important to me. Yeah, Nick, you were talking about getting in touch with me, and yeah, the chat line's up to where it looked like I replied to you. Yeah, it's funny in chat sometimes, the things that come up there if you're not really watching close, and especially because there's a delay. There's a delay from whenever I say things to when you guys respond to it, so it's a little bit hard to get used to. It's not, I say this is a live broadcast, but it's probably a good 4 or 5 seconds behind. So what I'm saying right now, you're not going to hear for 4 or 5 seconds. So it's a little bit weird. Brutus says fine. Not sure. I can't remember there. Hello to you, Chad. Where are we at here? 55 minutes. We're getting close to the end here. We did get rid of all the quail for right now. They're just too messy, and we have one of South Carolina's largest poultry farms with rare breeds of chickens, and they just started Swifty's Seafood Shack. Oh, and you just started Swifty's Seafood Shack. Interesting. May have to make it to South Carolina and give that a try sometime. Brutus says, apple cider vinegar cured my acid reflux. Nice, I'm glad to hear that. I'm not saying apple cider vinegar is bad and that it has no use whatsoever. I believe that there are, it is good for you. There are some good properties to it. There are some things it can be used for. It gets really, really overplayed. Really overplayed. And that's just my opinion on it. But I am glad that you found that it was helpful for you. Let's see. Reba says, how are your plants doing this year so far? It's been so hot. Yeah, my garden's not doing that great. And I think the biggest reason is because I decided to do that whole seed to harvest series. So I was going to show everything on video, and Murphy's Law got me. It's not doing that great. I had more problems with slugs early in the season. I got rabbits coming in and eating stuff. I got, just all kinds of little problems I've never had before. It's going okay, but it's not doing great. I had the hardest time getting some of the seeds to sprout. It's just not great, but it's going okay. It's slow. I got my first cucumber out of the garden today. I've got tomatoes, but none of them are ripe yet. Just a couple of things. It's not moving along great. All right, where are we at here? Future Army Medic says, thanks for the advice on the cage flowing. No problem. Armed American agrees too. He says hardware cloth will not hurt the quail's feet at all. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, you're right, Armed American. Plan on cleaning quail cages every day because the poop piles up fast. He's right. Thank you, Robin, for joining us. I'm glad you liked the show, and you have a blessed week as well. The Future Army Medic says, would someone need a license to sell quail eggs for hatching? No, you don't need a license to sell them for hatching, but if you really want to do it on a large scale, you need to be NPIP certified, especially if you're going to sell across state lines. I think that's a law that if you're going to sell across state lines, you have to be NPIP certified. But if you're just going to sell a few of them here and there in your local market, you don't need anything special to do that. EC4 Rabbitry says, I have a mother rabbit who is very aggressive towards her babies. She has thrown 4 of them out of the cage. I saw her digging in the nest box right on top of them. Interesting. Also, she didn't pull very much fur, so I substituted with some from another doe. Was this a reason she was rejecting them? Shouldn't be. Rabbits typically don't reject their babies for any reason whatsoever. If she's really literally throwing them out, they don't really pick up their babies. So are you sure it's not that maybe they're feeding and she's pulling them out of the nest when she's getting out and they're not letting go, and then they just kind of squirm their way out of the cage maybe? Don't know. But if she's really on top of them digging and doing all those kinds of things, that's just a bad mothering instinct. I would get rid of that rabbit. If it's her first litter, give her another chance, see how she does. But if it's a continued thing, I would replace her with another rabbit. That's my opinion. Thanks, Walter. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be back, too. Hopefully things calm down. We'll be on a routine again. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. Looks like we got a little bit of a lull in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. We're right at an hour, only about 10 seconds short. And it usually takes me much longer to get wrapped up than 10 seconds, so we'll do that. So you have a great rest of the week too, EC4. Thanks, guys, for joining. I appreciate it so much. Let me know in the comments section if there's other things you'd like to see addressed in future videos. I'll be happy to do that. But do me a favor, come back after the video post it in the comment, not in the chat, because the chat just disappears whenever I exit the live video. So again, thanks, guys, for joining. Appreciate it. God bless each and every one of you. And we will see you guys next week. Take care.